Thank you and welcome back for the last and final video on death. Death of the body and tremendous life, infinite life for the soul when the body dies. I am very fortunate. I have so many very special moments in my life that really gave me so much insight, and I'll share one. Once I finish my 10 or 20 books in psychology, I'm concluding now one of them. Maybe I'm just going to put a book just of stories, but I'll share with you one right now. And this connects to death, to happiness, to perspective, to life. There's a beautiful lake in Ontario called Lake Simcoe, about an hour north of the city. There's about 3 provincial parks around it and thousands of cottages, country homes, bungalows, holiday homes, whatever you call them in your country. Above that lake, it connects to a different lake, and that lake is called Lake Couchiching. It was about 22 years ago. It was about a half an hour. Oh my gosh, I'm getting all emotional. It was a half an hour after sunset, and I was on my beautiful little rowing boat. The best place for a human being to be is in nature. I could spend 3 hours explaining why. We'll skip it for now. And I took my video camera, that bulky video camera. We didn't have any videos on phones then. And I took it on my boat. And I'm just sitting there in a very quiet evening. It's so peaceful and so quiet. And I begin to take a video of the sky, I still have that clip, I have to find it somewhere in my archives. I begin to take a video of the west side of the sky. I think, no, that's Barrie, it doesn't matter to what city. And the sky is beyond beautiful. Many people have it. I'm not talking about the beauty of the sky right now, I'm going to be talking about something else. Behind me is the east, where the sun did rise that morning. And as I take the video, most probably I'm talking, because I'm always talking when I take the videos. I'm just blown away by the beauty, and slowly but surely, I take the video. I believe I went southwards. I took a 180 to the east. At the same moment, when the sky was so bright, even a half an hour after sunset, because if there's no buildings, there's no mountains, you could see sometimes there's bright sky even an hour or even longer after sunset, which is beautiful if you're in the right spot. And on the video, you could see the moon. It's absolutely dark, you can't see a thing. And if I'm not mistaken, this is 22 years ago, I even put back the camera again back to the west. And the sky is bright. I'm sitting in one boat, in one place, in one zone. And I turn my head to the right, and the sky is beautiful and bright. I turn my head towards the left, and there's almost a certain fear in you, like schizophrenia, bipolar, like what's going on over here? Well, obviously, that's the way it is. That's nature. So what's so special about the story? The specialty about the story is, imagine if someone else would be in the boat with me at that moment, sitting right beside me. And I look towards, at that time, wait one second. And I look towards the west, and I see a bright sky. And someone with their back towards my back and says, "Oh, it's so dark." And you hear me say, "Oh, it's so bright." And they say, "Oh, you're such a positive freak. Stop it." And I say, "I don't know what you're talking about. I only see brightness. I only see beauty. I only see glory. I can't even express what I see. It's so beautiful." The other guy says, "You know, you're not living in this world. It's dark. It's absolute darkness. Look at the stars. Look at the moon. It's dark." And the answer is, it's our choice in life. Wherever you're going to be, if it's a boat, they're both true. They're both true. But you could choose what you're going to look at. Are you going to look at now the past, the person that you have lost, and be sad and pained? Not in the initial segment. We're talking about months and years later. Or are you going to think, are you going to look now towards where the sun is setting? What would the deceased want me to do now? How would the deceased want me to help another human being? What would make the soul of the deceased happy? You're going to have a very, very different mission statement. You're going to have a very different goal. You're going to have a very different direction. You're going to have very different enthusiasm. You're going to have a very different outlook on life. It's always easier to slip down a mountain than to walk up the mountain. I always have this thought that I could spend now with any human being 10 hours straight now, tell you stories. Obviously, I'll look it up online, real stories of good people and good deeds, and for 10 hours straight to show you the amazing kindness of human beings. And if you listen to it, you're going to be convinced that this world is the greatest world in the greatest place in the universe to be. It's just awesome. People are phenomenally kind. And then I could spend hours to tell you how some countries and some people do the worst cruelty to humans and to animals today, years ago. And you go, what are human beings? Why is this world so terrible? They're both true. The person that says the world is the best world and there's only good and kindness and brightness and tranquility where I am right now is a liar. Because I chose to come here. 5 minutes away, there's so much noise and cars, it could just kill my mind. I come here. But to say this is the world, this is not the entire world. There's places in the world, many beautiful places, that I choose to come to have my tranquility and to do a lot of other stuff than just record the videos. To say that the world is just a place where everyone's going to cheat you, everyone's going to stab you, everyone's going to talk behind your back, and they're going to gossip and make up lies about you, and this world is terrible and horrible, is a lie as well. I think they're almost both equally, and maybe another time we'll talk about how they are almost equally. Just like there's night and day, there's good and there's evil, there's brightness and there's darkness, and there's sort of this tug of war. It's almost like your heartbeat. It sucks in the air, it pushes, it sucks in the blood, it pushes back out the blood. Everything is that way. In Kabbalah, it's called Ratzu V'Shuv, the in and out, the coming and the going, the darkness and the brightness. Look at the air in your lungs, look at the food, look at the day, look at the night. Our whole life is that way. There's a lot of people that months and years after death, especially when they're alone, they could hold a cup of tea and think about the times that were good in the past. That's a choice. You even said it wasn't the past. Now there's a new gift, the gift of the present, the gift of the future. And I'm going to say this with passion and emotion because I believe it. No one taught me this, but I believe it. The greatest thing for a deceased soul, I don't know if I'm sad now, I think I'm more emotional about this because I connect to the truth. The greatest thing for a deceased soul is to see their family member actually be happy and live. Because only when they leave their body do they really understand what life is. And at that moment, they most probably regret why they didn't live more. There's so much to live than just to pass time. Living in this world could be in an infinite way. And the soul that's connected to you, that family member, only wants one thing: live and make the best of it. Of course, cry. When you die, you cry. When you fall, acknowledge that there's mud on your knees, on your hands. Brush it off. That's fine. Don't come back 5 weeks later Don't come back forever and say, ugh, don't relive those moments. Sometimes a little bit is good, but we're talking about when it consumes your life and you live with the deceased as if you are dead. That's not what the soul of the deceased wants. I'm not giving you here a guilt feeling. I'm just trying to encourage you. Choose your thoughts. Know what side to turn your head, at the beautiful bright part of the sky or the darkness of the sky. It's a second from the left to the right makes all of the difference. Everyone goes through tough times. Everyone will have a death somewhere in the family. What you will do weeks and months afterwards will make the greatest difference. In the last 15 clips, I wasn't here to give you the answer how to deal with it. I wasn't here to give you the magic how to alleviate the pain. I just gave you one tiny perspective. There's hundreds and thousands of books on death. There are many people that will tell you what worked for them. That doesn't mean it's going to work for you, but you could always learn from their ideas. This is just a little thought, a little perspective. This is a little thought and a little perspective. And if it did not help you, I apologize. I know I'm not here to save the world and to save all of you. But if anything of the last 15 clips help you in any way, I am happy. And if it only helped one person, I'm extremely glad. Have yourself a wonderful day, and may we merit the time that physical death will not exist. It will be equivalent to spirit. Will spirit and matter will unite in such a beautiful way that just like spirit does not die, so too matter will be so deeply connected with spirit that death will be something of the past, and we will never know of death, and we will appreciate the infinite life with all our family members. And if you're worried about the population, when you got a brilliant, infinite mind, spiritual mind, we'll work that out as well. All the best. God bless you. Thanks for listening.